Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In the last video, we featured some of the questionable team we had in the opponent team, and this video is actually the opposite because it's only fair to show both sides. Last game we had, teammates that had no idea, but this team, or in this game, we have somewhat reliable teammates, and that's what we will see. So this is not like a great game, but it is just shows the importance of having faith in your team as well as making plays, keeping your team in mind. I'll have two gameplays. First, it's Al Haloof. I am in tier 10 Thunder Chief. Going to our normal spot. I kind of made a little bit mistake. I didn't count how many of our tanks are going there, so initially I wasn't paying attention. So I was just going to my regular spot, B2, the heavy corner. You could go to A2, A3, or if you have gun depression, B2, B3. And that's what I was doing. 7 degrees of gun depression. I thought I'll go there. Found a friendly face on my team as well in an aviary. So most of my team was going right. I didn't pay attention that no one was coming with me. Also, I didn't really notice in time that our heavy and TD had stopped at 8-5. I hit the light tank. Unfortunately, I bounced. Not the greatest start. Their team was super aggressive and they're already on our side of the ridge. And this is where I was like, oh, I have no support. I looked at our sniper hill at C6. What do we see? No support either. However, there's a nest, a sniper nest from our team at HG9. So I was very disappointed. This is a small map and I have kind of faster tank, so I decided to reposition immediately to use my team. Meanwhile, the UDIS-16 that had penned me earlier, damaged by turret, has penned me again. I rotated to a side. I'm like, okay, this looks like where the party is. I'm gonna join here, put a couple shots, win this engagement, and then turn around. So go forward, put a shot in Quran, track him for the aviary. It was juicy shot for aviary. Aviary kind of trying to get the gun depression, side gun depression because it struggles with frontal. Unfortunately, no pen. And then I was going for another pen, but E5 poked around. So far, I am not happy with my teammates. I had one pen, and then I ended up bouncing another shot. So I tried to put another one. I took out a TS60 who was one shot. Not sure how he lost his tank. But I noticed that on the B2, B3, they have 4 or 5 tanks pushing. And it's a matter of time before we lose and they surround us. So I had to make a a difficult decision of leaving my teammates. And if I was them, I would be upset. But I kind of realized that these guys are not going to win. All of them are one shot. I have some HP. I am slow, however, so if I had to go back, this would be the time. Our 268 goes down to their artillery. Now there's 3 tanks that are forward. Aviary took out the Quran, and a Death Star who's one shot on the left side. Not a good position. So I decided to go back to our holding or sniper hill at D7, hoping I won't get shot at while I'm coming back. I was thinking about stopping there for a minute, put one shot, but it wasn't really worth it because that would have slowed me down. So even though in the beginning I was kind of let down by my teammates, I was like, okay, I'll go to Sniper Hill, ping my teammates, and they can pay attention towards me. And I was going back. I noticed our standard B is repositioning for a better position, and our Surf K is healthy, Surf K solid tank, and we have a tank destroyer. Scores 6 versus 11. I had hope and a dream. Because all this kind of games happen. Sometimes you have bad teammates, and then other times you have a more reliable teammates. Our team kind of pushed over JK. They do end up killing EBR, bringing the total to 6 versus 10. Now my tank doesn't have greatest armor, and I've already took 2 shots. However, I do get spotted. I wasn't sure who was spotting me. I thought maybe a medium from coming on the ditch. So I decided to retreat to not take any shots or not expose myself, but it was a medium on the lower side, 5120. He was the one that punished me, or who was spotting me. We took out 268 as well, and this UDIS who had penned me earlier twice decided to push. However, I penned him once, rammed him, and the standard B managed to take him out of the game. Meanwhile, Waffle also took out the E6 out of the game. Rhino's pushing me. I put a shot in once. He bounced once. I'm just wiggling, dancing. He hit my gun again, and I ended up bouncing on me. I didn't have to peek here because I peeked, missed my shot. However, Standard B, as I was saying, my teammate, reliable teammate, providing cover, do manage to take out Rhino. That peak was bad because I wanted to put a shot in Rhino. However, I bounced and I had a tank up shot from Badger. I was a little bit lucky that Badger didn't perma-track me and only penned me once. But at this point, my gun and fuel is damaged. So I'm just baiting these guys. We already took out 2 guys that were pushing me and then one that was on the left side. And now this Badger, he lost about 800 HP and is being careful because he knows that I have support. The score is 4v6 and this is all I can do. I can just still stay here, repair my modules using a repair kits, and when they do push me, I hope that my teammate can keep providing the support that they did just now. The score has it's closer now, 4v6. So we can already see it kind of winning. I'm pushing these tanks, making it difficult for opponent to shoot me, so that when the push happens again, my teammates have just a little bit more time to punish these guys. Over on the other side, the light tank and the medium 5120 are pushing. I'm trying to help or return the favor. However, the waffle goes down to artillery. The 2 tanks are pushing. Sturb is full health, Standard B is full health, but I am not. Standard B is keeping a continuous eye on me, but also not getting spotted because he doesn't have armor and takes forever to reload. But over on the other side, he's also providing support to Sturv K, which is who's getting pushed by 2 tanks. Our Sturv put a shot into the autoloader, took 1 shot in return. Good thing was he was healthy, however, it takes another shot from the autoloader and a light tank, but took light out of the game. And now Thunder Chief is pushing me. They felt confident that one of the tanks is distracted. Thunder Chief came into play, decided to push me. He didn't pen, I ended up penning him. He bounced the shot from Standard B. Unfortunately, Standard B could have tracked him. And meanwhile, Sturv K finished both those tanks. The total is now 3 versus 4, or the score, and their artillery got spotted. I was surprised that their artillery spotted for a brief moment, and now I have to be careful so that I don't get artillery. It's because I'm being proxy spotted by these tanks, and as much as my team can help, they can't really save me from artillery, can they? So I don't want the Thunder Chief to run away. I was trying to get a shot into him, or at least spot him from my team. Meanwhile, the last heavy I-7 is now closing in. But we have a very, very decent cross. As I said, Sturv K over at G9, keeping an eye on I-7. Standard B over on the corner, E0, very good holding position. So whenever you're losing this map, these are the position you want. You want a guy at like where Sturv is, then the guy where Standard B is, the guy where I am, and then if you have one more tank, that guy has to be at B0. So those 4 tanks can hold really well. The opening would be towards the Sturv where their team pushed, but if that's a solid guy, right, and the guy at D0, tank at D0 is covering, it's not that easy to take him out of the game. I-7 is now down to 1 shot. He got punished by Sturv, who's also down to 417, 1 shot for I-7. Well, I'm getting all the love from artillery. However, artillery is not successful so far. He is struggling to hit me. Yep, another shot onto the rock. This side does have the better sniping hill as opposed to the other side. Just try to get a cheeky shot on Thunder, but I know it doesn't have the best hull, but then he's also side scraping to kind of limit the exposure. He did take 1 shot when he came around the first time. And meanwhile, we have some good news. Artillery ended up killing itself. He fell off the rock, or I think he got spotted, panicked, and jumped off the cliff. And for the first time, we are finally in a stalemate of 3 versus 3. So the score is even, not a stalemate, but the score is even for the first time. The game didn't look winnable. I don't have any damage. As I said, this is not the game about damage. It's just basically trusting your teammates, because there will be games where your teammates will be helpful. They'll do their job. As you can see, Sturv pushing I-7, who is running away, and he took I-7 out of the game as well, and we are up 3 versus 2. Actually it's the Standard B. Sturv K was pushing I-7, spotted him, and Standard B took I-7. I kind of made a mistake here, and Thunder Chief panned me, but I was also lucky that I managed to pan his hatch in return. Our Sturv K is coming back up, but got spotted by Badger on the lower side. Turf K goes down, who's one shot, and Standard B saw this opportunity and is closing in behind Thunder Chief, as he knows that Badger is on the lower side, on the lower ground, and the Thunder Chief can't push me, and I'm one shot for him. So Standard B didn't hesitate it. He did a really good job at D0, and then also was quick to help me over here as well. And now it's a 2v1 Badger versus a full health Standard B and a Thunder Chief. I am one shot, but it doesn't matter. We have two guns. So if he looks at Standard B, I can pen him. If he looks at me, Standard B can clip him, as is about 900. He do put a shot into Standard B, but we can just hold angles. It's a fixed turreted tank. Not much they can do in these situations. And the things are looking better for our team. Put a shot into Badger. He kind of turned to put a shot into Standard B. And that's what happens, right? So I was pretty, I guess, satisfied. This game could have ended badly if I stayed there. I could have just died, but then I decided to come back, and my team did not disappoint me. Not much damage, but I got 3 kills for me. Best Turf K with a solid 5k damage, and the Standard B with 4 kills. Not much damage. The Waffle was also alive for the longest part, but it did 4k as well. And then now we move on to our next game. Province. Can we be surprised? Not really. Playing my Rogel. You know, when things get tough, time to bring out the big gun. Going up towards the 8-9, and as usual, we have already lost a tank. My tank is low, so it takes a while to get into position. Also risky to kind of turn around, so not much I can do until I get into a position to punish the enemy or hold. And this is kind of the window, right? If you're in a slow tank and your team dies before you even get to a position, that's just unfortunate. We took their Uris out of the game as well. And these two games, they happened pretty close. I think there was one game in between, and then this game happened. And I was pretty much, to be honest, just because of the last game we featured, I already had faith on my team, because there will be matchmaking at times. Sometimes you'll keep having bad teams and bad teams and bad teams, and the other time you'll have balanced teams, and then sometimes you'll have better teams. And during this window, I had actually better teams. And because how the last game went, or the game we just saw, I had faith in my team. You know, I was positive. Then my teammates will help me if I put myself into a position where they can. This map is also not the biggest map, but still there are a lot of obstructions if enemy team, if you can use it effectively. But again, there are a lot of openings as well. If you're not careful, you will get punished. Their team has taken control over 2-3 lines. Our guys have a nest over their HG line around H8, H7, J8, J7 area. So far we are only losing by a tank, not a big deal. And still not in position though. We do have an Andre forward. We lose MBTB over on the left side, two tanks difference now. I have a medium over on the left. That's a leopard if I'm not mistaken, and then Andre on the right. So I was going to help Andre. We lose another tank, 3 tank difference. There's a Waffle in between. Didn't want to miss an opportunity for a juicy shot on Waffle. Put a big, use the big gun for the first pen, switch to the second, couldn't pen him. And this could have been, in my defense, I was trying to punish a very deadly tank. But in return, we lost our artillery and 30B. I don't think I could have saved them. 4 tanks deficit though. Our Andre and the medium, they are pushing forward. It's not a very easy push because their tanks over on the 3 line, they can shoot our guys if they have the opening, and at the same time we're pushing into the red team. They could have different angles and they can punish us. Unfortunately, Andre goes down, and now we have a leopard and losing by 5 tanks. I have done nothing except put 1 shot into the Waffle that wasn't really paying attention to me. And meanwhile, our team is not in a very good position. The tanks, or on the 1-2 line, they're probably gonna die very soon, as they have, as the enemy team has a huge overmatch over there, and a very solid holding position on this side. I tried to put a shot on, as I talked about those openings, but I was just too slow. Just needed 1 window to put a shot, maybe track them and then use my slower gun. But what happened was the leopard that was close to us also ended up dying. Score is now 6-12. And this point, and this was the point when I know I had the HP, I can hold here, so I decided to push forward and take out the 705A. And I know there's a T30 around. He is down to one shot, but I wasn't sure if there are any more tanks. Plus, I wasn't aware if there are. I know the artillery is there, but I wasn't sure if there's any other tank destroyer. And I retreated a little bit back, got shot by from the arse side. T30 closed in. I bounced a shot on 705. As I went for the roof, the tank doesn't have enough gun depression. And while I was occupying this tank, T30 is down. Our medium saw that I needed help, and it's safe for him to do so because if he did earlier, could have taken shot from T30. Their artillery also moved to the other side, but my heavy and mediums are trying to help me over here while I'm being face-hugged by 705, got shot at by artillery, and also getting shot by the enemy team on the 3 line. But they're doing as much to help me. Our medium is pushing to create an angle. Conqueror goes down, unfortunately, to another opening. Score is 4-10. Ruthless, however, also at J9, was able to put a shot into 703. However, Murat came in to help as well. Wasn't needed, but caused enough distraction. As another tank that was Conqueror was coming, also unfortunately died. Murat went forward, spotted a TD, which I wasn't sure. I thought that these are the only guys here since artillery has moved as well. But there is a tank destroyer. Meanwhile, the heavy on the H3 is still alive, and Ruthless, who killed 705 earlier, also took out 780. So at this point, I had faith in Ruthless. He took out 2 tanks, and similarly, I also had faith in this medium because he pushed with me, kind of helped, and he didn't just YOLO. Now he's like holding positions, trying to do as much as he can. T58 fired, got spotted. I'm not sure if it was spotted earlier, but anyway, I managed to send him back to garage as well. Artillery shot at me, splashed me, and Thunder Chief, our heavy, took out 30B before going down as he's now getting rushed by 2 tanks. He is, however, being covered by our reliable Ruthless. The difference, which was at one point, I think it was 4 versus 10, is now 4 versus 6. Thunder Chief goes down 3 versus 6. I rushed my shot, missed 263. Dodged the shot from artillery. I was waiting for my second shell to reload, so when I peek the second time, I can take out 263. Our medium is being careful because he knew probably where the 263 he is. I wasn't exactly sure where the tank is, so he didn't want to peek here as he was one shot and lose his HP. And he's trying to spot the guys over on the left side. I think he's the one that spotted the medium as well as the tank destroyer and took out the waffle turkey buck. Meanwhile, I took out 263 and the score 1.4. It was 4v10, right? And 3v4 looks pretty winnable. I tried to spot them, but I don't have optics running vents. I was struggling to keep getting targeted. And I also know that they had artillery that I can't go to. I know he's like C2, C3 area, B2, B1, but I can't really go there. I don't have the speed. I'll get spotted, get farmed. And again, my reliable or trustworthy teammate Murat comes in. He has the view range. He's been keeping rotating down the 8-9 line driving around the 8 or 9 line and then providing assist wherever needed. He helped Ruthless and he helped me, and now he came back to help me. He also has an idea that where the artillery is. He's pushing forward and spotted the artillery. Just getting in position, slow rotation speed. Murat put a shot, put another one, and then I shot the artillery for 400. Scores even with 3-3. Even though Murat is one shot, I am potential 2 shot, but Ruthless is healthy. And again, we are in a situation where the game now is winnable as the score is even. Going back towards the Ruthless as they were pushing, and that's where our base is. I wanted to be in a position where it's close for me to reset the base if needed, as well as punish if they start pushing Ruthless, because Ruthless a very long reload, and to make it worse, if you miss your shot, then it is very likely you will die. They do have a medium, a Batchat, which is an autoloader, 752, another autoloader, and 705A. Our Murat and Ruthless are in Platoon though, and yeah, if the matchmaking goes rough, right, it's always good to play in Platoon as you can control more, and you do have fun playing in Platoon, right? Sometimes you just struggle playing solo, as you can't rely on teammate, and at those points we all enjoy playing in Platoon, and this is the power of Platoon. Coordinated play always wins. You can win engagement, you will not otherwise. Like when you're playing solo, you can control the game more, you can help each other, you can help the rest of the teammates. And while I was crossing, 705 got spotted. I thought I had the big gun, but unfortunately I had the small gun, so I bounced the first shot, or tracked him, switched to the big gun, panned him with the bigger gun. Forced the... Not sure if I forced actually the reload, but now closing in towards the guy that's capping. I know it's the medium since the rest of the two tanks are spotted. Ruthless is pre-aimed on those tanks, probably punish them as soon as they peek, and I'm the only one close enough which can take out the, or punish the Batchat, as Batchat using the rock. So I peeked over, Ruthless took out 705 as he peeked, I took out the Batchat, and we are at a 3/V1 advantage. Things are looking pretty comfortable at this point. Decided to shoot 752, I bounced one, but then I think he penned my hatch here. 752, it is I think one of the tank in the tank war chest this days. It's a decent tank, autoloader, Soviet heavy with the 8 degrees of gun depression, premium APCR, not the greatest shell velocity, but I would say a decent tank if you like autoloaders. With basically premium APCR and shell velocity, gun depression, what makes it nice for me. So Murat's being aggressive, spotting for me and the Ruthless, and I wanted to just get one shot on 752 if he was there. I'm loaded. However, 752 is running away. I pre-aim at the opening, hoping to get a shot, but I missed. Murat is hungry for damage. He wants to wrap it up. He is pretty confident, and so am I, because we just turned the tables. And while chasing the 752, Murat ended up penning him twice. I wanted to get a shot into 752 as I said, this looks like we have won, there's not much damage. So I kind of got greedy here. 752 was crossing, he didn't cross there. I was hoping for, he was hoping to get unspotted, so then he crossed. I missed my shot, but I am spotted though. He targeted me, he bounced the first shot. I tried to get in cover, but he got my hatch again. Nonetheless, as I said, talk about the reliable teammates. Even though I died, I kind of got greedy towards then. But we had another tank that I could rely on, Ruthless, that took care of at least 3 tanks. He had the health, he pushed towards the 752 and took him out of the game. So the point is, basically, you don't know what you roll. Sometimes you get good teammates, but sometimes you get bad teammates, and sometimes you get just average. But try to make the best out of the situation. Get into position where teammates can help you and not give up easily. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day.